morning everyone, my name is Kuhan and these are my teammates. So today we'll be presenting about ride hailing in Malaysia. So these are the table of contents. And let's now move on to the introduction part. So the objective of our introduction is to analyze how the e-hailing such as Grab has changed the competition and efficiency in Malaysia's transportation sector. The focus will be to compare the pre-e-hailing taxi market with the post-e-hailing taxi market. And we will compare using some economic tools such as market structure, supply and demand, and welfare analysis. And according to Planning Malaysia 2020, the introduction of e-hailing platforms has significantly disrupted the traditional taxi services in Malaysia, creating new competitive dynamics. So these are our agendas for today. Now let's look at the pre-e-hailing market analysis. So in the pre-e-hailing era, the market was dominated by traditional taxi services, which means limited number of licenses were set by government, and there were also high entry barriers which only registered taxis were allowed. Furthermore, the prices were regulated or fixed, which caused low competition, and this eventually caused low efficiency and poor service quality too. So let's look at some articles which talk about the pre-e-hailing market analysis. So Ideas 2021, they talked about before e-hailing, Malaysia's urban transport was dominated by traditional taxi with limited competition. And furthermore, Bank Negara Malaysia stated that the market operated almost like an oligopoly with a low efficiency and poor consumer welfare. Finally, Zico Law stated that high entry barriers existed because the number of taxi licenses were restricted by the government. Now I'll pass the slide to my friend Yeti.
Okay, so thank you, Kuhan. So now I will start with the market structure of the e-hailing industry. So e-hailing platforms such as Grab and MyCar actually operate in an oligopoly market structure, and only a few large firms dominate the market, and each has some power to set price due to their strong brand, technology, and driver networks. And they also use surge pricing to adjust fare when the demand rises or decreases. So actually this helps balance supply, and also can raise consumer costs and show how e-hailing firms influence both price and welfare. And next, now let's look at how e-hailing improves consumer welfare using this diagram. So the original demand curve is D1, is before the market have e-hailing. So after the e-hailing entered the market, the demand curve shifts to the right, which is D2, as it is convenient. So, but it caused the price 1 to become price 2 to increase, and the quantity of ride also increased from Q1 to Q2. So overall, although e-hailing increased the price, but it makes transport more accessible to consumer, leading to a gain in consumer welfare. Therefore, this also fulfills the definition of opportunity cost. And now let me pass it to Shinya.
Thank you, Yunti. Now I would like to present about the producer welfare and market efficiency. And so here is the graph for producer welfare. And now the rapid rise of platforms such as Grab and MyCar has transformed Malaysia's transport sector. Previously, taxi operated with limited supply and fixed fare, which restricted operator with limited supply and fixed fare, and both services are restricted. With the entry of private driver, the supply curve shift rightward, which is S1 to S2, which is cause the quantity will shift to Q1 to Q2 and the price will lower to P1 to P2. Right, and this is help to enhancing a producer welfare and as many driver and platform gain flexible income opportunity. Next, at the same time, dynamic pricing system has improved market efficiency by allowing fares to adjust according to the demand, reducing waiting time and lowering direct loss. The use of GPS and algorithm matching also cut operational costs, improving both allocative and productivity efficiency. From the market equilibrium perspective, efficiency occurs when the marginal benefit is equal to the private marginal benefit, and however, the social optimum is achieved when marginal benefit is equal to social marginal cost. The gap between these 2 points show that allocative inefficiency represented by a deadweight loss, which arises from negative externalities such as congestion and emission. Nevertheless, the industry also generates positive effect, including better mobility and flexible employment. To maintain balance, smart regulation like emission standard, congestion charge are essential to internalize these external costs. So next I will pass it to my friend Siu to talk.
Thank you, Shin Yang. Now, beyond policy, a competitive market is driving real innovations through key three developments. First of all, we have the increased competitions and choice. With multiple players like InDrive and Bolt, consumers now have meaningful choice. Second, we have the innovative pricing models. Platforms like InDrive use peer-to-peer bidding, allowing mutual, fair agreements between riders and drivers. Lastly, will be drivers' empowerment and supply incentive. Companies like Bolt offers commission as low as 10%, directly increasing drivers' income while ensuring adequate market supply. That's all for me. Now I'll pass to Ziyu for his next part.
Okay, thank you. I will analyze the economic impact of government regulations on Malaysia e-hailing market. First, please look at the chart. In 2017, the Malaysia government regularized e-hailing through the APJ amendment, introducing key policies like the PSV driver's license, annual vehicle inspections, and commercial insurance. These regulations direct increase drivers' optional costs and barriers to entry. In economic terms, this leads to a contraction in market supply, represented in our diagram by the supply curve shifting left from S1 to S2. This shift results in two direct market outcomes. First, the equilibrium price rises from P1 to P2, meaning consumers pay more. Second, the total quantity of services in the market falls from Q1 to Q2. Therefore, government regulations is a double-edged sword. On the positive side, it enhances service safety and quality, correcting market fairness. But on the flip side, it suppresses market supply by increasing cost. This vividly illustrates the necessary trade-off public policy between safety and efficiency.
Okay, thank you. So now here is our reference list. And that's all for us. Thank you.